Negative and positive atheism, a clear distinction. Atheism, as commonly understood, refers to the absence of belief in deities. However, this broad term encompasses two distinct categories: negative atheism and positive atheism, often referred to as weak and strong atheism, respectively. These concepts, introduced by philosopher Antony Flew in 1976 and later discussed by thinkers such as George H. Smith and Michael Martin, offer a nuanced perspective on the spectrum of atheistic beliefs. Negative atheism, absence of belief, not assertion. Negative atheism, or weak atheism, describes a position where a person does not believe in the existence of deities, but does not actively assert that no deities exist. It is a passive form of disbelief, often rooted in skepticism or agnosticism, rather than outright rejection of religious claims. Those who adopt this stance simply find no compelling evidence to believe in gods, but stop short of declaring that gods do not exist. Philosopher Antony Flew characterized negative atheism as a default position, one held by those who have yet to encounter persuasive arguments for the existence of a deity. This position leaves room for the possibility that evidence could emerge to change their views. As George H. Smith writes in Atheism, The Case Against God, 1979, atheism, in its basic form, is the absence of theistic belief. This definition encompasses all forms of atheism, including those that deny, doubt, or simply refrain from affirming the existence of gods. This category of atheism is often mistaken for agnosticism, but they are not identical. Agnosticism focuses on the knowledge of gods, while negative atheism centers on belief. A person can be an agnostic atheist, meaning they do not claim to know whether gods exist, but also lack belief in them. Positive atheism, assertion of no deities. Positive atheism, or strong atheism, goes a step further. It asserts that no deities exist, making a more explicit claim about the nature of reality. Those who identify with positive atheism not only disbelieve in gods, but also argue against their existence. This form of atheism often engages more actively in debates about religion, employing philosophical and scientific arguments to challenge theistic claims. George H. Smith explained the difference succinctly. Atheism is the absence of belief in the existence of a god or gods. Positive atheism goes further, declaring that there are no gods. This position is grounded in the conviction that the evidence provided by theistic religions is insufficient to support the existence of deities, and that the philosophical or scientific arguments against theism are compelling enough to assert their non-existence. Michael Martin, in his book Atheism, A Philosophical Justification, 1990, argues that the absence of belief in any deity becomes not merely a lack of belief, but a positive affirmation that the evidence shows no gods exist. He further claims that the onus of proof is on the theist, and that in the absence of convincing evidence, the strong atheist is justified in asserting the non-existence of deities. The role of evidence and burden of proof. Both negative and positive atheism involve questions of evidence and the burden of proof. Negative atheists typically argue that, in the absence of compelling evidence for gods, disbelief is rational. Positive atheists, on the other hand, assert that evidence, or the lack thereof, justifies a stronger claim that no gods exist. This distinction is crucial in discussions between atheists and theists. Negative atheism shifts the burden of proof onto the theist, while positive atheism takes on the additional responsibility of providing arguments or evidence against the existence of deities. Why the distinction matters. Understanding the difference between negative and positive atheism is important for both atheists and theists. Many debates and misunderstandings arise from conflating the two. While negative atheists may be open to changing their minds based on new evidence, positive atheists maintain that the case against gods is already clear and definitive. In conclusion, the terms negative and positive atheism reflect two different attitudes towards the belief in deities. Negative atheism represents a lack of belief without asserting certainty, whereas positive atheism makes a confident claim about the non-existence of gods. Both forms are legitimate expressions of atheism, but they engage with religious claims in different ways. As the philosopher Antony Flew put it, these distinctions serve to clarify the ongoing discourse around atheism, belief, and the burden of proof.